Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me here at Unapologetically Progressive. A little bit of breaking news for you that can actually be some good news for at least some people. And at this point, I think the slightest little bit of good news is actually a good thing to celebrate. So let's get right to it. Today, a judge blocked an order from Donald Trump. Now, it doesn't block the entire order. Some of the stuff still remains in place, but we'll get into it a little bit here. Okay, so let's go through this article here from USA Today. As you see, Judge orders CDC to restore web pages that doctors consult that were dropped under Donald Trump order. Now let's go through this a little bit. A federal judge on Tuesday ordered the Department of Health and Human Services to restore public medical information on websites that was removed under one of President Donald Trump's executive orders aimed at transgender care. The district judge, John Bates, went on to say, if those doctors cannot provide these individuals the care they need and deserve within a scheduled and often limited time frame, there's a chance some of these individuals will not receive treatment, including for severe life-threatening conditions. Now, this much is obviously true. It's obviously a problem if doctors cannot access the information they need to access to quickly diagnose somebody. That could create a time frame issue, right? If you've got a severe illness, it could be causing you a chance that you're going to pass away or seriously harm you, then they should be able to have access to this stuff. I don't care what the argument is that people are going to give you, but I'll show you here the argument from the two different arguments that we saw in this particular case. Zachary Shelley, he was a lawyer for the for advocacy group Public Citizen. They represented a group of 27,000 doctors and medical trainees, it says. They told Bates during the hearing that this is immense harm to the public, as you can see here. But then But James Harlow of the Justice Department that was defending the agency said doctors weren't saying they lacked all information to treat diseases. It's just that it perhaps would take longer. Now, there's the problem, right? It could take longer. Now, this all came out of one of his anti-transgender care bills and anti-transgender rights bills. Or not bills, but executive orders that he signed back on his first day. Now, it doesn't revoke the entire order, but they were using the guise of gender ideology, which isn't a thing. There's no such thing as gender ideology. It's just not a thing. People are trans or they're not. An ideology makes it sound like a government, but it's not. An ideology is something like communism, capitalism, things like that. But people existing is not an ideology. But that's what this whole argument was about, right? They were trying to scrub these websites, some of them which had information on them all the way back to the late 90s, when the websites first started going up. And by infringing on these doctors' abilities to quickly access information about diseases they may not be aware of, or situations that they may have never treated before, and might need the best form of treatment quickly, this is very, very helpful. These websites are used by doctors every day. But this stuff went on to cover, it removed information about HIV, AIDS, contraception, anything having to do with transgender care. And I'm glad that a judge finally stood up to Donald Trump again. Unfortunately, all we have right now are judges to stand up to Donald Trump. The Republicans in Congress aren't going to do it. The Democrats in Congress aren't going to do it, except for maybe AOC and a few of her friends. So it's good to see some judges actually doing some good once again. And of course, this comes on the heels of last week, where another executive order was at least paused on the birthright citizenship argument that Donald Trump and his cronies are trying to make, trying to get rid of birthright citizenship. The judge said that in that particular situation that it was a constitutional violation to try to end birthright citizenship through an executive order. It is not the way we do things in this country. It is not how it works. We do not live and run our government on edicts. We just don't do that. And that if they want to change it, that they're going to have to go through Congress to get the ratification started to change that law, to get enough states to agree to it, to ratify a new constitutional amendment, which they don't have the numbers. So for now, that's dead in the water until maybe it gets to the Supreme Court. Maybe the Supreme Court will have a different feeling on it. So here we are with two really decent legal rulings that make sense and that don't really. It still doesn't stop the problem. It still doesn't stop that he has basically denied the existence of transgender people in this country. It doesn't change the fact that they have taken the documents of trans people trying to get passports to get out of the country away from them. People that just tried to renew their passports so they could get out of the country. They were denied having a new passport, had all their information confiscated at the offices that they were trying to get their passports done through. So these are all problems that are still being fought in court right now. If I find out any more information on anything else, I'll let you know. Anyways, I hope you are having a great day. I'll see you down the road.